What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about Xerjoff Naxos. And I know there's already a ton of reviews on it, a ton of people have talked about it, put it in their top 10 lists, top 5 lists, etc. But we're going to talk about it in a different way. I've talked about reformulation in other videos, and I think it goes without saying Xerjoff Naxos is a victim to reformulation as well. I have multiple bottles that I've experimented with, and I've also seen post after post in Facebook groups, people talking about different batches, talking about the new bottles aren't anywhere compared to where the scent used to be, etc. Personally, I have 3 different Naxos bottles that we're going to compare today. Not only am I going to spray them on skin, I'll let them dry down as well, and I'll come back and give final thoughts. But I'm also going to take them and put them in little decants. I'm going to take basically a 1 milliliter decant of each, and we're going to compare the colors of the juices as well, because it's very apparent that these are not the same. And interestingly enough, I think that Naxos has been reformulated multiple times, because this bottle, I call these the piss yellow batches, is actually light. It's the lighter batch is older than this batch. So I think what happened is originally the juice kind of looked like this. The original, the old Naxos that came in the different bottles, it didn't even come in this bottle, was even darker. But this dark juice got reformulated, and then this piss yellow juice came out. It almost looks like Mountain Dew. And they got so many complaints because the lavender, the headache inducing lavender in these batches is so predominant that no one likes Naxos when they buy it. They'll get a decant and it might be a different batch. I don't know what's going on. Maybe some of the decant companies have a different batch than what's being sold at discounters or whatever right now. When I bought my decant from Decant X, I went through the whole decant and then I bought a full bottle, and when I got it, I was like, am I remembering the scent different, or is this just straight up different? I wore through the whole decant, and then when I got my bottle, I wore it once and never sprayed it again. And that was this bottle. And you're probably thinking, well, if you never sprayed it again, why is it empty? And it's because I decanted it. So that's the explanation on why I have 3 different bottles. So if I wasn't decanting these out, I wouldn't have 3 different bottles. This is the newest batch that I have. And if you notice, this is darker. It's not dark, but it is most definitely darker than this. I mean, even with the little bit of light or the little bit of juice in here, we'll compare them. I'm going to decant them and we're going to compare them. But drop down in the comments. Let me know your experience with Naxos. When you tried it, did it live up to the hype of all the reviews? Because I think at one point in time, Naxos was exactly what it's hyped up to be online. Because you see it in reviews, you see it in top 10 lists, you see it in top 5 lists, you see it in top Xerjoff fragrances, you see it in tons of different types of videos being hyped up time after time, especially a few years ago. But something happened to the fragrance where people not only are not talking about it as much, but when they get it, it's like a catch and release thing. They get a bottle and you see it being swapped almost more than any other fragrance. You see them being sold like 95% full on these Facebook groups, and people are starting to seek out old batches. You see people searching for the vintage batches of Naxos. So clearly there's a difference, and people are willing to pay good money for the old batches versus they're getting rid of the new batches. So something clearly changed. If there wasn't a noticeable difference, people wouldn't be seeking out these old batches just for the color of the juice. When these fragrances become super popular and go viral, these companies end up reformulating the fragrances to make them more profitable. Now, I'm not saying that 100% happened in the case of Naxos, but it kind of seems like that because it was a very sought after, high quality, raved about fragrance. And now people kind of just toss it by the wayside, honestly. So, like I said, let me know your experience with Naxos, but We're gonna get into this. I'm gonna spray these on. Actually, I think I'm gonna decant them first and then I'm gonna spray these on. Let's get a little 1 milliliter decant of each of these so we can compare the color of the juice, and then we'll get the sample in and test out the smell. So we are going to go newest to oldest. So this is the newest. I've sprayed this one and this one. I just got this bottle in because this one's low. And I didn't want to decant the rest of the juice out because I was saving it to make this video. But I'm going to guess that they reformulated this again. And this new batch, the new is going to be different. Well, they obviously didn't go back to the original formulation, or the juice would be darker, you know what I mean? But there's clearly a difference. Look at the color difference. Let me get my little light. See if we can make this work. But look at that color. Look at the color of that. And look at the color of that. It's not crazy different. And I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up the same way I'm seeing. It's not crazy different like this. But there's a difference there. And I think these decants, there's a difference. It's not drastic though. It's really not drastic. Nothing like this. I don't even think there's a need to decant this to show like that's clearly, it's clearly different, okay? I kind of just wanted to see side by side, those two, there's not a big enough color difference. All right, guys, we're back on the tripod. I think the only way to really test this, because the colors aren't that drastic enough of a difference in these two newer batches to really see. So the only way to tell, we're gonna do the smell test. We're gonna spray the vintage batch last. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray the piss yellow batch on my wrist, the furthest away from my nose, because it's probably gonna give me a headache and I'm gonna wanna wash it off. But I'm gonna do this for you guys. And then I'm going to spray the new batch up higher on my arm. And then I'll spray the vintage batch on this arm. It's a whole lot of Naxos. Let's go. Piss yellow batch, not gonna sniff it yet because I genuinely do not like the smell of that. And it hardly even smells like Naxos. It smells so much different than the decant that I got from Decant X. I don't know what year. There's no batch codes on those decants, so you don't know. You just kind of got to guess. Then we got the new. Oh, there's definite difference right off the bat. In the air, you can smell it. You guys aren't fooling me. Oh, we don't reformulate our fragrances. You guys aren't fooling. The nose knows. The nose knows. I'm telling you guys, the nose knows. And I'm not saying every time you see juice change that something got reformulated, because I've seen it, like my bottles of Triumph of Bacchus. I looked back at old videos of Triumph of Bacchus and the juice was lighter. And then 3 years later, people are talking about the same bottle and the juice was dark. So I know juice ages and changes over the years, but we're talking about something different here because we have an older batch that's lighter than a newer batch. I mean, come on. But, all right, smell test, let's go. Yes, heavy lavender, like laundry soap lavender, car freshener lavender is how I would describe that. It doesn't smell like something I want to spray on my body. And especially with how Naxos is supposed to be like this nighttime sexy fragrance, that doesn't smell, it literally smells like, and I can kind of taste it. It smells like, and it makes me taste like fabric softener, laundry detergent, those kind of vibes. That's what I get from that. Whoa. Guys, that's Naxos. These new batches, these fucking new batches, yo, that's completely different. I don't know, it's not gonna focus, but this is a big deal. That is like sweet, smoky tobacco, honey, and there's like a hint of lavender in the background. That's piss lavender laundry detergent, makes me sneeze. Like, I want to wash this off. It's nasty. These new batches, they reformulated this shit twice, maybe 3 times, who knows? Because the original Naxos was way dark. It came in those old school bottles. You know what I'm talking about? Like the old Xerjoff, before they even went to these bottles. Naxos is back, guys, because this is different. This is that shit. I get the hype behind, and this smells better than the decant of Naxos that I had. This shit is fire. This is the new and improved Naxos, and we're gonna smell. I totally forgot about the vintage pre-formulated Naxos, pre-formulated Naxos, because I got so hyped about that. Yeah, that's it. It's slightly different. It smells like there's more honey in this. This is a little sweeter, but not like Aaron Terrence Hughes Slut Sweet or Hard Candy Elixir Sweet. Not like that obnoxious sweet, but like dark honey sweet. So the new batches of Naxos, that's actually Naxos. This, like, when you see these piss water Mountain Dew looking juice Naxos, that's not Naxos. It doesn't smell anything close to what you're going to expect when you watch the reviews about Naxos, when you see it in top 5 lists, when you see people talking about old reviews of it, etc., and you smell this lavender laundry soap bullshit, you're going to be disappointed and you're going to be like, Naxos is trash. But if you smell, and I'll even go as far as saying these vintage bottles now are obsolete. There's no reason to even seek after a vintage bottle now. This formulation, I'll even go as far to say, I think this juice actually might get dark. This bottle is newer than this bottle, and the juice is already darker, and this is Naxos. That's getting better. That's getting better the longer it sits on my skin. It was good in the opening. It was good right off the bat. There's no headache-inducing lavender. There's no strong lavender note. This is Naxos. When you see the note breakdown of Naxos, when you see the old reviews, people talking about Naxos being a sexy nighttime fragrance, that's what they're talking about right here. Hopefully they don't change it again. I would imagine they got enough complaints that they changed the formulation and they brought back the way Naxos should smell. But hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown of Xerjoff Naxos. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Stay smelling good, and I'll see you in the next video.